Welcome to the Native Diamond Podcast.
Oh, shit! What you waiting for?
Please don't forget to like the video, hit subscribe, ring the bell. That way you're notified every time I drop a new episode of Native Diamond Podcast. Feel free to drop a comment because I love hearing feedback from you guys. Without further ado, let's get into today's episode. What's going on, my dudes? Seth Mick here. This is Native Diamond Podcast. And on today's show, I have Kendall from the rap-inspired metalcore band Dead Crown with Stay Sick Records. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, dog.
Oh, yeah. How I like to start off every podcast is I like to shoot off some icebreaker questions. 25 off the top. You just say the first thing that comes to mind.
For sure. Let's hit it.
First question. Ice-T the rapper or Ice-T with lemon?
Ice-T the rapper.
Nirvana or Green Day?
Nirvana. Easy.
I did not plan this either. I saw that
Yeah, we're
Nirvana.
both.
I saw the Nirvana shirt on the Facebook page. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
my kind of people right here. Song that you know all the lyrics to.
Fuck, it's hard to just pick one off the top of my head. Probably You Smile by Justin Bieber, to be honest.
I like it. No, that's cool. Your favorite NSYNC song?
So I'm not an NSYNC guy, so I don't have one, and I don't know much of them, and I'm not a Backstreet Boys guy either. You know what's fucked up? I'm a Big Time Rush guy. I love Big Time Rush.
What's your favorite Rush song then?
City Is Ours, baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like throwing in those just to fuck with people. Last time I did your favorite Nickelback song.
Oh, I got an answer for that one for sure.
All right, next question.
Yeah.
Slipknot or Mudvayne?
Slipknot.
Dwayne Carter or Sean Carter?
Dwayne Carter, like Lil Wayne?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dwayne Carter. I don't even know who Sean Carter is.
Jay-Z.
Oh, yeah, Lil Wayne all the way.
Finish the lyrics. I made the change from a common thief to up close and personal with Robin Leach, and I'm far from cheap. I smoke skunk with my peeps all day, blank.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's because it's on the spot.
Well, no, I mean, it sounds like it's a hip-hop song. Is it like 90s hip-hop?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't listen to much 90s hip-hop.
All right. It was Juicy, Notorious B.I.G.
I don't listen to him, so I don't know. I honestly don't know, dude.
Fair enough. Most badass superhero.
Oh, Iron Man.
Nice.
Tony Stark's my boy.
What's your favorite one?
Which Iron Man or just which Marvel movie?
Either or. Which one's your favorite?
Oh, man. I mean, it has to probably be Endgame. I feel like that's everyone's favorite. You know, it has to be Endgame.
Has to be, yeah.
But also, fuck Endgame because the boy dies at the end, and that was really sad.
That was pretty fucking sad. I
wasn't ready for Robert Downey Jr. to stop being Iron Man.
Oh, man.
Doesn't feel right.
It's weird. Next question. Who would win in a fight? Joe Rogan or Joey Diaz?
Joey fucking Diaz. Have you seen Joey Karate?
No.
What's up, fucko? Joey Karate here. Joey Diaz would kick the shit out of Joe Rogan.
Next question. Led Zeppelin or Rolling Stones?
Man, I wish I could choose neither, but probably Led Zeppelin because I hate that Paint It Black song. Can't stand it. Ever since Guitar Hero 1 or 2,
yeah,
whatever one it was on, they would like on career mode, they'd make me play it, and I'd be like, I fucking hate this song. God damn it.
Steve-O or Chris Pontius?
That's really hard. Probably Steve-O because that guy's just a fucking legend, man.
Yeah,
he's a fucking legend. Yeah.
He's
but Chris Pontius, I feel like he's one of the unsung heroes of everything. Because especially like Wild Boys, I remember watching that show growing up, and Chris Pontius is fucking hilarious.
Do you like Eddie Murphy?
A little bit, yeah.
It's gonna be like a favorite one of his. Coming to America or Trading Places?
Coming to America for sure.
Pirates of the Caribbean or Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings.
Which one's
even though? Oh man, probably Two Towers. But when I was younger, I was actually in Disneyland for the Pirates. I think it was Pirates of the Caribbean 2, the premiere. And some people in my family were huge like Pirates of the Caribbean fans. So I got to like meet Orlando Bloom randomly and shit.
What?
But I was like super young. Yeah, but I was like super young and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And then when I got home, I watched the movies and I was like, oh, this is sick. And it was right when they opened up the ride and shit. And I was like, all right, just a little kid, like, what the fuck's going on? And they're like, that's Orlando Bloom. And I'm like, hey. And then he's like, hi, I'm Orlando Bloom. I'm like, okay.
That's great.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to both. But if you had to choose one for the music, Little Peep or Juice WRLD?
Probably Lil Peep.
Attila or Emmure?
I gotta back my own horse on this one. I gotta back the boys in Attila. So
Got to pick the boss man, right?
yeah, and the homies.
And the homies. Festival or club? Which one do you like playing better?
That's really hard, man, because it all depends. But probably club. Right club and the right crowd. It's unforgettable.
You think it's more personal for you?
More personally, yeah, it depends. Because like I've played some good festivals and I've played some really shot festivals, and I've played some good clubs and I've played some really shot clubs. So it's like it all just depends, man. It really does, and it's hard to pinpoint. And with festivals, it's like way more politic. It depends on like where you're at in the lineup, what's going on with everything. If like it's a shit show or if it's good. Festivals are really easy to fuck up, where club shows, they're not that easy to fuck up.
Good insight. Which state has the best food?
I'm rocking from the top of my dome. I would say probably Austin, Texas. I had one of the best like vegan burgers I've ever had in Austin, Texas.
Are you vegan or do you just eat that way sometimes?
I was vegan for like 5 years, and recently I just went back to vegetarian.
I'm vegetarian right now.
Fuck yeah, dog.
Trying really hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm a chef, so it's kind of tough.
Oh fuck yeah, I can imagine.
South Park or Family Guy?
South Park, fuck Family Guy. Family Guy can suck me. I've never liked that show, but
Me
I'm a huge
either.
South Park guy.
We're on the same page.
Fuck yeah.
Halo or Call of Duty?
Halo's my roots, so I'm gonna say Halo.
What's something that everyone loves, but you're just like, fuck that?
Billie Eilish or whatever the fuck her name is. I can't stand her for some reason.
Low gutturals or high screaming?
Little gutters. Little gut.
Best 2000s emo band?
I mean, My Chemical Romance. Has to be My Chemical Romance.
What's the most annoying band ever?
Trapped.
Last question. I'm trying to be PC here. So bang, marry, kill. Okay, your three options. Scarlett Johansson, Hilary Duff, Avril Lavigne.
Marry Scarlett Johansson. Sorry, but I got to kill Avril Lavigne. Bang out with Hilary Duff.
That's all I got for the icebreaker questions. Thanks for playing. I like to do that as an intro.
Okay.
What have you been up to lately?
Trying to get my life back on track. You know, this quarantine thing kind of threw me through a little fucking loop. Started meeting up with the boys again. Started writing. That's going good. And that's basically it. Just trying to be sane. Trying not to go crazy. Trying to be productive.
Have you been watching any TV shows or anything like that?
Ozark is probably my most recent discovery that I fell in love with. That show's badass. Definitely Ozark, yeah. We just finished the last season.
Do you guys listen to any podcasts?
So I work from home and I'm self-employed. So I'm always back and forth between like podcasts and music. And whenever I get tired of one or the other, I switch back and forth. But I'm a huge wrestling fan. So
Nice.
I listen to like Talk is Jericho a lot, and he has musical guests on sometimes too. I'm a huge fan of like Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer.
Oh, okay.
So I'll listen to like Your Mom's House, Two Bears, One Cave, all their podcasts and stuff. And those are like kind of the main ones I do. Sometimes I'll listen to Lead Singer Syndrome with Shane Told. Yeah, those are like kind of my goat podcasts, my go-tos. So
oh yeah. Yeah, there's some honorable mentions there. A lot of people have saying like the Shane Told one. I need to check out the Walls of Jericho. That sounds dope.
Talk is Jericho, yeah.
Your Talk is Jericho, yeah.
Yeah.
I have a weird request. Some fans from Twitter, they want you to scream on the spot.
Oh man, I totally would, but my roommates are sleeping still.
You're good.
Sorry, Twitter.
You're good. Yeah, sorry, Twitter. I tried for you. So what are some main influences for you?
Man, I always get asked this, and I don't know where to start because there's just so many, you know?
Yeah,
like
that's tough.
I don't know. I feel more than anything, I'm more influenced by just like what's going on in the moment. So it changes a lot, you know. Sometimes I take influence from a sick song I just heard, or you know, the fucking new Ariana Grande single on Z100. You know, like inspiration comes from so many different places that it's hard to pinpoint. Like it just comes from here, and I don't want to sound like that cliche douchebag fucking like artist. Like inspiration just comes from the leaves outside of my trees, and I'm fucking like 100% original. No, nothing like that. My mind's very open to music. You know, like I love fucking country music. I listen to a lot of different music, and so inspiration just comes from a lot of things. Like Kanye West, I love Kanye West. Not really his new shit, but like Life of Pablo is like probably one of my favorite albums.
Right
Drake, Take Care, that's another one of my favorite albums. And then, you know, obviously like fucking Emmure, Chelsea Grin, especially their new record, and Volumes is a big one. Yeah, just like it's all over, and there's just so many. It's hard to like pinpoint exactly like what influences me. I take influence from everything I can fucking absorb, you know.
Yeah, shout out Chelsea Grant. I'm repping them today. Yeah, that's really interesting because obviously with like the rap inspired stuff, pulling from, different various influences. So that's why I
Yeah.
asked.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like I said, like as far as the hip hop stuff comes, I would say probably Drake and Kanye are probably two of my biggest influences from that world and two of my favorites.
Was the whole band on the same page as like, okay, this is kind of what we want to do, or did it just kind of come out that way?
A little bit of both. It was kind of like a thing like, oh, we should do this. And then it was kind of like, oh, we don't know. And then we did it. And then it was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then for Crucify Me, we were like, we should steer into this a little more. We did it and we were like, yeah, this is sick. It didn't happen organically. It was thought out, but it wasn't pressured. We try to let things happen as normally and as organically as possible, but we definitely think about and consider like all these things in the writing process. So it was a little bit of both. And I think that's where the sweet spot is, because we don't want to sound like we're trying too hard, but we don't want to sound like we're clueless,
Yeah. So do you guys kind of feel like you've found your spot now? Is this kind of the direction that you're going to go?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And like we're writing for full length right now, and that's fun. It's our first ever full length, and personally my first full length in any band I've been in. So it's a journey. It's weird sitting down and being like, all right, I got to write 10 to 12 songs. That's quite a bit, when you've been doing EPs your whole life. But the writing, it's coming along faster and I think more smoothly than it ever has before. Doing Come Hell and Crucify Me, we definitely got, I think, all the wiggles out, even though I said that last time when we were talking about Crucify Me. But there's always wiggles coming out. And I think we're finding our groove. And between those two first releases, we kind of found what we really like and what we don't like and what we want to hone in on. And I think we're doing that with this new stuff. So I'm excited about it.
When did you guys sign with Stay Sick? That's really awesome that you guys are with them.
We actually signed with them like 2 weeks after Come Hell came out, so a while ago. Since it was right after our record just came out, an independent release of ours came out, they kind of wanted us to announce really quick, just with like a little fucking image and stuff, and we didn't want to do that. So we wrote out our album cycle of Come Hell and waited till our next single, and then that's when we announced with Stay Sick. We sat on our contract for like 8-9 months before we announced we were signed with them.
Are they a pretty lenient group?
Oh yeah, they're awesome. Everyone shout out fucking Mike Milford. He's like our main guy at the label. He's the main fucking dude of the operations. He's the dad, he's the fucking boy. Then John and Billy and Franz, they're all awesome. Main reason we signed with them is because of the freedom we get. They don't really tell us what to do. We're pretty proactive ourselves. We don't need to really be told what to do. If we were slacking or we were like not doing what we needed to do, they would definitely step in and be like, hey, what the fuck are you guys doing? We're pretty self-sustaining and self-motivated, so it's cool that we just have them in our corner, and everything that we do, they usually back 100%. It's good having just like a fucking solid team and peers in the industry that back what you do and just say, yeah, go do you, and push us every step of the way.
Yeah, that's dope, because some bands I've had to go through a lot of PR people to get them on the podcast and shit like that, and obviously I didn't have to deal with that with you, so that was pretty dope.
We've worked with some like PR people, and I don't know, for how much money you pay, it's never worked out for us. Not to like talk shit or anything, but I always just like this, like, if you want to fucking talk to me, hit me up. Let's talk. We'll do this shit. We ain't fucking scared.
That's dope.
And I don't need some motherfucker, monitoring like the one email a month I get that asks me if I want to do a podcast. Like, of course I want to do the podcast. Like fuck off, get real. So yeah.
That's great, dude. You guys are from Portland, or is that where it's based out of?
No, I'm coming from Portland, fucking Oregon right now.
Do you know their band Within Sight, Separating the Seas?
Yeah. Love all those dudes. I've actually done a couple of music videos for Within Sight, and those Separating the Seas boys are some good kids right there. Love
right on.
Guys.
I had both of those guys on the show, and Grant told me I should hit you up. I've listened to you before, so I was like, dude, hell yeah, I want to get them on the show.
Fuck yeah, man.
Shout out to them, Within Sight.
Shout out.
Yeah. Shout out Separating the Seas as well. So what's the most Oregon thing that you can think of? Besides
plaid flannels and IPAs and rolled up beanies and hipster shoes and Subarus. God, fucking, I can give you a goddamn list of the most Oregon thing. um, excuse me, sorry, I'm having a White Claw. And yes, it's 11 in the morning, and I'm drinking a White Claw.
Oh, you're good, dude.
Fuck it. Oregon is, especially Portland, man. I know, like, to the whole rest of the United States, we are, like, the hipster capital of the world. So it's really hard being like, oh, what's the most Oregon thing? It's like, have you seen us on the news? I mean, you probably already know the most Oregon thing. So yeah, I mean, you could just like hold up a picture of a hipster and be like, oh, that you'll see 5 of those just like walking downtown, you know, like it's hard to pinpoint. Just think of your fucking average hipster and your average fucking just woke as fuck, angry on Twitter, you know, guilty for being white person, and that's the Portland, you know. There you go.
That's great. Yeah, I like watching Portlandia. This shit's hilarious.
And from what I've heard, it's pretty accurate. So
it sounds like it from what you're saying. Sounds pretty accurate. Are you into sports or not?
Yeah, I mean, sports entertainment.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm a huge pro wrestling fan. I'm actually about to watch AEW Double or Nothing after this, which is a pay-per-view that happened last night, but I wasn't going to buy that shit for $50. Fuck that. So I torrented it a day later. But yeah, I mean, besides that, wrestling's the one thing like I really, really follow, but I grew up playing sports and stuff, so like I could sit down and watch basketball, football. I love watching the big UFC fights. I love watching all that shit. Like I know about sports, but I just don't like follow them super hard. This next basketball season, I want to try to follow a little bit more. We have a bar by Eric's house where we write called Brickyard Tavern. It's not open yet because of COVID, but when it opens back up, the boys are going to be back in their full swing. That's like our bar that we always go to. They usually play the Blazers games, and last time I was there, it was just getting drunk and watching basketball, and it was fun as fuck. It was a really tight game. So, and then right after that, the fucking season got canceled. So I definitely want to try to get back into following basketball and all that shit.
Yeah, Trailblazers are pretty fucking good. I'm not sports crazy, but I relate to you actually with the wrestling. I like wrestling. Yeah. That's kind of like my guilty pleasure. Me and my homies, we watch like the old school WWF shit. Rewatching a lot of that. So like, did you like WCW better or WWF, like old school?
So I came in when I started watching wrestling. I'm a Ruthless Aggression era kid, so I kind of missed the Attitude era. Like when I first started watching wrestling with all my friends and like really fell in love with it, that was right when John Cena was coming in. Okay. So he was like the John Cena that no one knows now. And like Brock Lesnar just came in, like Kurt Angle was on the height of his career. Chris Benoit, like RIP, and like, that's a touchy subject because he like kind of murdered his family and shit. But and then like Chris Jericho, Rock and Stone Cold were like on their way out. So like that's the era of wrestling that I grew up in and like really fell in love with, you know, like Jeff Hardy when he was doing crazy shit all the time still. So yeah, I wasn't much of an Attitude Era guy, but I still go back and watch those all the time. Oh, like Triple H, Batista, Randy Orton, Evolution, that faction, like that was like my shit I grew up on. So Ruthless Aggression Era is like my favorite wrestling. Oh, Rey Mysterio, that was when he won the World Heavyweight Championship. Like, yeah, all those great times. And personally, I think the Ruthless Aggression Era is better than the Attitude Era. Like, I get the importance and the history of the Attitude Era, but during that Ruthless Aggression time, the amount of fucking just talent and the roster that they had was like, dude, it was fucking unstoppable. Like, even like their mid card was fucking Benoit and Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio and shit and Kurt Angle. Like, and then their heavyweight, like their main card was like fucking Kurt Angle again, Brock Lesnar, Triple H, Shawn Michaels. Like the talent was just like fucking insane back then. And so that's what kind of sucks about WWE now. Sorry, we're talking about wrestling a lot. I could go, like I said,
no, you're good, dude.
That's my shit right there. Yeah.
No, that's perfect. I don't like having a script of these things, dude. I just like having conversation and just getting to know you. I mean, you know, because you're going to have these interviews all year. It's going to be like, hey, man, what's your fucking favorite album, man?
Like, yeah. Like, a lot of people are like, God, fucking stop talking about wrestling. I don't like wrestling. It's like, yeah, you're right. You know, I'm not a fucking pro wrestler. I scream in a microphone. So, like.
Hey, whatever, man. It's your thing, you know? So, that's just how it is. I was watching The Dark Side of the Ring. And it kind of shed a light on the whole CTE going on in wrestling. And I think that's kind of why they got away from like a lot of those hardcore matches and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. They don't do headshots anymore with chairs and shit. except for AEW, they did. Cody Rhodes got fucking busted open by one recently, or like a couple months ago. It was sick. Yeah, WWE, they've toned it down, especially after the Benoit thing. And if you watch, I don't know if you watched the Dark Side of the Ring or that, but like, yeah, the dude's brain was literally like rotting from the inside out. It's kind of like, oh yeah, I can see why that would kind of make someone go crazy or just like kill their family one day. It's really weird, but
yeah, it's fucking sad shit. But like, I think there is like such a connection between wrestling and metal due to this whole like like Slipknot and new metal. I think that had a lot to do with it, with the masks and.
Oh, dude, yeah. Especially back in the day when they used a lot of rock and like metal shit. Nowadays, like, The Weeknd was like the WrestleMania theme song. It's like cool, but NXT, they use like Bring Me the Horizon, Cane Hill, Poppy, Slipknot. They still use a lot of like the rock and metal bands out there. So that's like, Code Orange performed at an NXT event. That was sick. So yeah, but and like we've worked with a couple wrestlers before. It's always fucking sick. And it's something I hope we can keep doing.
Are you guys anybody's theme song right now?
No. There's a company based out of Portland and Seattle called Defy, and they've used our song in like a couple promo packages to hype up some of their big matches. And that big match was, I don't know if you've seen our family video, but that big ripped guy in our music video with the Bible and shit and long hair.
Yeah.
His name's Shaft, and he's a pro wrestler, and he wrestles at Defy, and he was the champion. And when he was going into a championship match, they used one of our songs on the promo video and stuff like that. And did some coverage when we released the video and stuff. So shout out to Defy Wrestling. Easily one of the best promotions on the West Coast, if not in the whole United States. They're fucking sick.
That's fucking dope. I kind of want to shed a light on that now that we're talking about it, but do you think that's like a good end for maybe a band coming up? Because there is a connection between the two. Yeah,
anything's better than nothing. And it's cool. Like, I would say, do you have a weird, quirky passion like that or something, like, get into it. My friends in Avoid, they just got on a NASCAR video game because they're huge fans of NASCAR, and they just threw it out there in the world, and it fucking worked. So just like any end's a good end. Get yourself wherever you can get yourself.
Dude, that's really dope. So like with your band personally, how did you guys start to like catch traction? Was it like playing shows? What was it?
I think it was a little bit of both with internet and playing shows, because we came out and I kind of had like a following from my old band, and the other guys in the band, they were pretty well known in our local music world. But so when we came out, we had like a decent little amount of internet hype. But I think the thing that sealed the deal was when we started playing live and people said, oh shit, Dead Crown can actually fucking bring it. Like, they're not just an internet band. I can say that pretty confidently because I know we do work really hard in our live show. We pride ourselves in like delivering a really good live show. From that moment and from that day, just everyone's kind of looked at us differently. We don't get really treated like so much a local band. The thing is like, we're all about our local scene. We're all about our local community. We try to do like the sickest fucking shows for Portland. We try to bring the sickest shit here because we love it. We are a fucking local band in our hometown. We want to have the best shows here. So for anyone ever says like, we think we're fucking hot shots or anything, our local community, like, no, we love Portland. We love doing that shit here. We want Portland to be the fucking best city for music. It was definitely a momentum of just like internet hype and then backing it up in real life. I'm really proud about that because, like I said, we work really hard in our live show. The way we practice, we put in a lot of sweat and a lot of hours. I think it was just both those worlds meeting and then people being like, oh, you got to take this band seriously now.
What's like the biggest show you remember playing?
Probably Chelsea Grin. We played with them at Hawthorne Theater, and I think it was like over cap. It was a really big show. There was a lot of fucking people there. And then we were supposed to be on tour with Attila. If that would have happened, that probably would have been the biggest shows we've ever played, because some of those venues were like 2,000 cap rooms. So
shit. Was that pre-Alex or post-Alex?
This was Eternal Nightmare tour. So
okay,
this was
cool.
with in my opinion, the good Chelsea Grin.
Yeah.
With fucking God, what the fuck is his name? Tom. Yeah, I was gonna say Bob. But no, Bob's a tattoo artist that tattoos Tom, and he's from Portland. So I'm like, I get them confused all the time.
Right. It's funny because like I heard that album before like I knew about the lineup switch, and I was like, man, they're really going hard this time. And then I realized
Alex got a lot better.
Yeah, I was like, he lost the Marge Simpson thing, and I Have you ever heard that?
True. Yes.
Yeah.
But shout out to Alex.
Yeah.
He was at our show in Salt Lake City on the Outline tour because one of his friends who's like a rapper played the show with us. And Alex is a super cool guy.
Oh, yeah.
Super nice guy. Nothing but love for him. He's fucking awesome. So
yeah, nothing but love. I just said that as a joke because I see those memes or whatever. I was just joking.
I know. Yeah.
I tried to get him on the show because I like what he's doing with Grudges. So shout out to Alex. If you see this, I'm still waiting on that reply.
Fuck yeah.
I like to ask this on the show because people love to hear it, but like tell us some road stories, some like awful moments for Dead Crown.
Oh man. So the thing is with us is we're all pretty fucking level headed and we know how to party in the sense of like we all know limits and we all know thresholds and we're all pretty mature with conflict resolution and we know so thankfully like that's what I love about my band. We're able to always have a good time, but we never take it too far and we're never the people that are like, oh fuck, that's fucked up. We have been in some situations where other people have done that, just weird shit's happened, but as far as partying and stuff, we've always just had a good time and I take pride in that too. Like I can firmly say we're a band that knows how to party and party proper. I think one of the like craziest road stories, it has nothing to do with that. We were driving from Salt Lake City, I think, through Denver. No, we were in Grand Junction, Colorado. That's where we were, and we had to go to Oklahoma, and it was in February, and we straight up had to drive through the fucking Colorado like Rocky Mountains during like an almost blizzard.
Oh jeez.
At like 3 a.m. It was so fucking scary. So like, and we're in a van and trailer, so it's like there's a lot of shit that can go wrong there. So I'm driving and I start seeing signs like chain up, chains required, like it's against the law to not have chains. And then it was like no road assistance, up pass. Like I started seeing all these weird signs. So then it was like last stop before pass, get chains now, basically.
Shit.
And then like I saw this cop on the side of the road. So I just stopped and I was like, hey, do you think I'll make it up the mountain through the pass? And he was like, I don't know, but towing starts at 350 and there's already 3 semis stuck up there. And I was like, oh. So we turned around and we went to the nearest Walmart, just sliding fucking all around. Finally got chains for our van and just fucking had to hold on tight and literally just drive up a fucking mountain in a blizzard of snow. Couldn't see the road, couldn't see any lines, couldn't see more than 20 feet in front of me. And the only saving grace I had was there was this other truck and trailer that was in front of us and I can see the back of the trailer lights. So when I was going up, I was just like, all right, I'm not losing this guy. And as long as I can see him and make sure he's okay, then just follow him. Because like I said, I couldn't see anything in the road. I couldn't see what the fuck was going on. It was up in the mountains. There's no lights, no nothing, just fucking snow everywhere. I think it was like 9 degrees outside, so it was just, dude, it was, and so because of that, since we're just going up hills at like 20 miles an hour for literally like 4 to 5 hours and then we start going downhill and it was just, and this was all at like 3 a.m. So it's just like, that was probably like the scariest fucking most stressful thing. One of the most stressful things I've ever done to, cause it's just, you're just on the wheel like this, just, oh, fuck, cause one wrong move and you're in a fucking ditch, and you're stuck there and it's fucking freezing. It's just not a fucking good scenario, but thankfully we made it. We made it through. It was already a long drive. It was like a 14-hour drive. It took us like, I think almost 24 hours to do the drive because we had to go so slow on the roads. But yeah, ever since then, I was like, yo, fuck Colorado and fuck Utah during January and February, even March. Probably the craziest story, yeah.
Do you have any more honorable stories you want to talk about?
We partied with Attila a couple times, and every time we get with them, it's always fucking crazy. I don't think I could go into too many details because we did some pretty wild things. I don't know if I could share them on the podcast, but just mad love to the Attila guys. Every time we hang out with them, it's always something fucking crazy. They're the homies. We love them. It sucks that this tour is being rescheduled, but it was going to be a real one for the boys. Can't wait to see the guys again when this tour gets rescheduled, and we get to fucking do that every night with them. So,
hell yeah. Do you like follow Franz pretty closely on his social media and stuff?
Oh yeah, yeah. But, you know, sometimes I'll FaceTime my buddy John. Like the other night, I FaceTime my buddy John, and he was with friends, and you know, so we talk every once in a while. Yeah, we're not like fucking best friends in the world or anything, but we talk with each other. Kalen, he's another dude. Like Kalen's just a fucking sweetheart. I love that guy. So yeah, we talk with them. We're friends with them.
I saw you guys kind of rescheduled. You guys are kind of planning for like next March, next year.
That's last I heard. That's the plan. Just because we don't know what this COVID shit. The Vengeance tour, from my knowledge, is still happening. And last I heard, we have holds for like March and February now, 2021. So cross fingers, hope that happens, and we can still do that.
So I kind of want to ask more about, you know, like the rap stuff that you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Do you guys catch a lot of like kind of steam for doing that shit from like, I guess, gatekeeper type metal people?
No, and I thought we would, and I was hoping we would. I mean, like, there's like some YouTube comments like of like elitist kids, like, man, the song was really good until the rapping. You know, like there's comments like that, but it's like besides that, it's mainly just been like people are excited about it. And believe me, like we're a band that like we try to do things that'll piss people off, and every time we do try to piss people off, it never works out that way. And then when we don't try to piss people off, it does piss people off. So it's really weird. But for the rap stuff, like no, like we haven't gotten really much any heat for it at all, besides just those couple YouTube comments from just quite frankly just fucking nobodies on the fucking internet. Yeah. It's like, oh, I like this song until the rapping started. You know? Yeah. It's just like, okay, go listen to fucking The Faceless some more and Rings of Saturn. Like, fuck out of here.
Do you kind of see like the direction change going more towards like the fusion stuff now, like moving forward?
We were definitely not the first to do it. But it's cool. I think the hard thing is like the fusion's always been done and it's always been happening. I just think it's really hard to find a band that does it well. And that's why we don't see it a lot, because, you know, like, I'm not saying we're the best at it either, but, you know, like Dropout Kings, they're good friends of ours. They're one of the bands that I think does the rap metal thing like the best. I think they're one of the best at it. And for us, it's more like just like a tasteful thing. We're definitely probably more heavy and more metal than we are rap. So, but I honestly think it's something that's, the fusion's always been there. It's always been happening. I just think it's always overlooked because it's really hard to pull off in a good way. So it's harder for bands that do the fusion to stand out, because, you know, it's really easy to like, you know, even when I'm in the recording vocals and rapping, thank God for Eric. He's like my dude. I bounce everything off him, you know, but when you record rap parts, it's not like recording screaming or anything, you know, it's like, it's really easy to be like, wow, this is really fucking cringy, or this is really fucking bad. There's such a fine line between like, you're trying way too hard or you're a fucking dweeb ass nerd. Don't fucking rap. When you're doing like the rap metal type shit, especially with the rap stuff, there's just a lot of margin for error. So I just don't think that I think it's hard to find a band that like does it right. And thankfully, from what I've heard, people like the way we do it. So fucking thank you, and I hope we do it all right. You know.
Yeah. No, I think you guys do it really well. I mean, you guys mix it. You guys mix it really great, man. Honestly, in my opinion.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to, you know, hearing more stuff. Obviously, I hope you guys, you know, stay on that course for sure.
Yeah. We're still throwing that shit in there. It'll be there, baby. And we're still also keeping the fucking breakdowns, and we're coming back heavier than ever. Our new shit's good. I love it. That's all I can really say.
I mean, I think it's important because, you know, like, you know, I'm like a 2000s kid. I was a 90s baby, but come on, I'm a 2000s kid. And
same.
You know, I grew up listening to fucking rap and metal. It wasn't like I listened to one or the other. Explain like the writing process. Who's like the main songwriter out of the group?
So for instrumentals, it's definitely mainly like Brighton and Eric. We all usually meet up and we sit in Eric's bedroom and we fucking get on a computer and we just write all the shit, and we sit there and fucking fucking no, it should be like this, no, it should be like that, trial and error, and fucking write instrumentals. And then once that's done, I take it home, I get drunk, I write lyrics, maybe do some drugs, get the fucking juices flowing, and lay some shit down. And then me and Eric meet up and we record vocals, and then it gets mixed and mastered, and that's it. Pretty simple, modern writing approach, but it's sick. We love it.
Hell yeah. Are you guys kind of like exploring any live streaming now that you guys can't really play shows?
Well, the thing is, I mean, we've kind of briefly talked about it, but like for us to do like a live stream concert that would even look or sound good, like it would cost so much goddamn money and like take so many resources that quite frankly us and a lot of bands don't have. So I think we'll definitely do more like live stream stuff, but probably not any live stream playing. And I think with this downtime, we're just trying to focus on like, let's just get new music written and get new music out. Since we have all this time now. So like, let's just fucking get going on that rather than like, no offense to anyone out there doing that, but like trying to focus on like, let's do a fucking live stream show. It's like, nah, we'd rather just like go make more singles, get to work on our album, make more music videos, get ready for content to drop. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Do you have anything that you can talk about that's about to drop that you can kind of throw out there?
Not ready yet. I can say from probably our first and second single, I'm probably going to start tracking vocals soon. So once vocals are tracked, we're not that far away from like a master. And then from there, we got to go make music videos. I'm hoping, and this is me hoping, so no one fucking quote me on this or be like, you fucking said music will come out. I'm hoping before the summer ends, we'll have a new single out for people.
Badass.
That's our goal. So we'll see.
All right. So I got to ask you, like when you were coming up as a kid, what was a huge concert for you?
Yeah. So I'm actually from a little tiny fucking town called Kathleen, Washington. You know, there was like 30 kids in my graduating class, town population of like 450 people. So coming up, I didn't know local music was a thing. I didn't realize like how close I was to Portland. We're about like 2 hours away from Portland. So growing up, like the Fall of Troy was like one of my favorite bands fucking ever. I remember my older brother started driving and he loved the Fall of Troy too. And I was really bad in school. So my parents said, if you get all C's or above on this next report card thing, we'll let you go see the Fall of Troy. And so I did that. And so when I was like 13 years old, I went to a club called Satyricon in Portland, which is like our notorious club that shut down, but went there and saw the Fall of Troy for the first time. It's fucking nuts. It's fucking crazy. and then I went and saw the Fall of Troy like 3 or 4 more times after that, and their shows are always just fucking mad. Also on that tour was Protest the Hero, right when they released Kezia. And so they played like all those songs and everything. So it was really sick. It was a sick tour.
Hell yeah.
That's also how I found the Deer Hunter, which is one of my favorite bands now too.
Oh yeah.
They played, and I remember like they had like 8 people in their band, and they all did like harmonies with each other. And they were like a real choir, and I was like, holy fuck, this is insane. I'm also a huge like butt metal kid. Like the first bands that my dad introduced me to were like Motley Crue, Poison, Guns N' Roses. So I grew up on that shit. And I remember when I was about 16, my dad and my mom were like, we got Motley Crue and Poison tickets. And I was like, yo. And then my mom fucking went and like got us VIP like box seats somehow. Like, cause there was like this radio station doing a Guitar Hero competition for like upgrades, and my mom just went up to the guy and was like, hey, you know, you're just gonna give these to my family. And then he was like, okay. So we got upgraded, and that was so sick. Like Motley Crue, Poison, best show probably I've ever seen in my life. And I fucking love those bands. Still listen to those bands all the time regularly.
Did you watch The Dirt on Netflix?
Yeah, I really liked it, but I was also like, there was like some like inaccuracies in there. That's because like I'm a snob. I'm like a VH1 Behind the Music documentary kid. Like I watch those all the time. Growing up, like those dudes, those hair metal guys and their stories were like my addiction. I don't know, you know, like I read Slash's autobiography, you know, it was like my main fucking interest. So when The Dirt came out, I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of inaccurate. And like some of the directing was bad, but that's also because I do music videos, shit like that. But then I saw that it was directed by Jeff Tremaine, who is the director of fucking Jackass. So it makes sense. You know, like I love Jeff Tremaine. I love his work, but it's like he's definitely not like a cinema acting director. So it made sense once I saw who was behind the film and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it was still a cool movie. I still love it.
Do you follow MGK at all?
Slightly. And that's the other thing about The Dirt is I was like, it's funny that the dude who's like not really an actor actually had like one of the best performances in the movie. So I thought MGK actually did a good job in that movie. It was the other actors that I was kind of like, you guys actually fucking actors? Like, Jesus.
So speaking of like MGK, do you listen to any emo rap or anything like that?
Kinda. It depends on the song, man. I'm a pretty top 40s kind of guy, and like if the song comes around and I hear it and I like it, I'll just listen to it over and over again. But yeah, I wouldn't say like I binge any of that shit or anything. I like a couple of MGK songs that have come out recently. They're pretty cool.
What are some like guilty pleasures that you're just like, well, I listen to, but I probably shouldn't admit it, but I do?
Big Time Rush, easily. People will fucking, yeah, just go look them up. You'll be like, wow, you're a fucking idiot, dude. And then, so like I was a Justin Bieber fan when his first single came out. So like when One Time came out and he was like fucking 12 or whatever, that's when I started listening to Bieber. And when he was playing in water parks and shit for like 40 people. So I've always been a Bieber fan, and I actually prefer old Bieber when he was a little fucking kid opposed to new Bieber. Like that's another big guilty pleasure. You know, I like little Bieber, little kid Bieber, and those are probably my two biggest ones. Yeah.
Did you ever watch Workaholics?
Couldn't stand that show.
Really?
Yeah, like I got it and everything. Like I don't know. I never got into it.
They had like a catch a pedophile episode, and the guy's screen name was screen name was Bieber Hole 69. It's just funny. It was hilarious.
That's funny.
I think mine would probably be like Post Malone. I think he's more accepted, but I catch some steam for that one.
Dude, that's no. If people have a problem with Post Malone and they're like, dude, Post Malone sucks, it's like you're just lying. You know, it's like the new Bring Me the Horizon records. It's like, dude, new Bring Me the Horizon sucks. It's like, no, you just don't listen to good music then. You don't know what the good shit is. Same thing with Post Malone. It's like, you hate on him and like say like you can't stand his music. It's like, you're just lying. Stop it. You're not cool.
What do you think about the new AA Asking Alexandria album?
I haven't even fucking listened to it. I kind of heard some single and I was like, okay. Yeah, they all had some kids and they're ready to cash out and retire. So good for them. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Because, yeah, I'm not a fan of it, but I get it. You know, I grew up on Stand Up and Scream, so of course I'm not going to like it, you know?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? That's just how it goes. I mean, you know, bands change, man.
Yeah, and good for them. They're doing what they're doing. Like, they're doing what makes them happy, so good for them. I can't really talk shit about that, so.
Right on. No, I feel you on that. That's a touchy subject for a lot of people, but
Yeah.
I wanted your take.
Yeah.
So, like, if you didn't do metal, could you see yourself playing any other genre?
Country. I would love to be a country solo artist.
Hell yeah. Anybody, like, in particular that you fuck with country?
Oh, dude, I fucking love Luke Combs, Mitchell Tenpenny. Those are probably my two favorite country stars.
What do you think about it now? Like, isn't it, like, more pop than country now?
Oh, yeah, but that's what's great about it. Like, Luke Combs and Mitchell Tenpenny, like, that's what they are. They're, like, kind of pop country and, like, not like Florida Georgia Line pop country, but they're like, it's just catchy ass fucking music that's really well written and really sick. My actual real name is Kendall Dale Johns. So if I was to go country, my name would be Kenny Dale, and I'd be the bad boy of country.
Hey, that's dope, dude.
I joke around. I say that's my plan. Once Dead Crowd takes off more, I'm going to ditch these fucking losers and start my solo country project, Kenny Dale. And then I'll hire all of them to play music for me. I would love to do country. That'd be so fun.
Danny Warsnop did it, man. He did the Walmart country album. I don't see why you can't.
But his country wasn't even good, man.
Yeah, I know.
Good country. Fucking.
You'd probably pull it off better.
I would just go to Nashville and be like, hey, write my song.
Right.
And they'd be like, all right, here's a hit. And I'd be like, yeah, auto-tune that shit. Let's go.
Do you like fuck with any like NASCAR or anything like that?
No, but like I said, my friends in Avoid, they're all about NASCAR. They're all about that shit. And, you know, they're about to be featured in the new NASCAR Heat game. They got 2 songs on that game. So, yeah, that's about as close as I get to NASCAR. I grew up in, you know, a really small sticks and mud town where, you know, you drove around your big pickups and went mudding and, you know, there's logging roads everywhere because we're a huge logging community. So, you know, I always kind of grew up with, I guess, that influence. But then, you know, like, I guess, yeah, when I was younger, you know, that's what we would do on the weekends. You know, you didn't go to certain places. I remember, like, we had these, and this is pretty amazing. It's not until you, like, get older and get in the city that you, like, learn to appreciate this. But there was actually some places in nature that we went that were completely untouched by man. And so, like, there was this big swimming hole and, like, waterfall that we would go out to and hang out. And it was, like, a decent hike, but it was all just untouched nature. And, you know, the water that you swim in, like, it's still cold because it's running off the mountain. You know, like, there's no machines anywhere, no fucking, it's just all untouched nature. And I know a lot of people be like, what the fuck, you sound like a hippie, but until you, like, actually go out and see nature that isn't touched by man and, like, isn't groomed, isn't taken, it's just been itself for the whole fucking existence of the universe. It's a pretty crazy thing. And that was kind of normal to me growing up because that's what was out there and that's what we did. We'd go to places like that and, you know, someone might bring some fucking weed, someone might bring some beers, do kind of shit like that. The town was also right on the Columbia River. Yeah, just a lot of just river and woods shit, I guess, you know, swimming in rivers and getting dirty and shit like that. I don't know.
Now I feel you. I'm from the same shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from like Lake Tahoe, California initially.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we moved to North Carolina, of all places. But yeah, it's like same shit. Like we had nothing really to do but hang out, start a fire,
Yeah.
drink beers, all that kind of shit. I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah, go hit the logging roads and see where it takes you.
Yeah. I think my first concert was Willie Nelson, actually, at Harris Casino.
That's what's up, dude. That's what's up.
The time has flown by talking to you. Just, I think we could talk for hours about wrestling and all kinds of shit like that. I want to ask you one final question because, you know, we kind of started off fun. So let's kind of end it in a fun way. What's one last wish before you die? If you can attain anything in this world.
To be in an infinity pool or an infinity hot tub overlooking a beautiful sunset and some kind of nature.
That's fucking dope.
That's it. And then just have like my mansion behind me. And just but yeah, I mean, yeah, that's all I can think of. I just like peaceful shit like that.
You just seem like you're really in tune with that, and you're really in tune with nature and not killing animals, and you just seem like probably a lot more calm than people would imagine because of the music, you know.
I definitely still fucking hate everyone, so don't get that twisted. I find peace in a lot of stuff that doesn't involve people, I guess. So I guess that's where a lot of my anger comes from with our music, you know.
Just society in general.
Dude, take me to Walmart for 15 minutes and I'll have a new song written in 2 seconds. So, you know.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you've been great on the show. I really appreciate your time. I know you got, shit going on. Yeah.
Not today, baby.
With your band, do you guys get compared to like new metal at all?
Not really. The biggest things we get is you guys sound like Emmure and Chelsea Grin, which some people say that in a bad way, like, "Whoa, Emmure, Chelsea Grin rip off," but we're like, "Hey, thank you." Those are like and Attila, those 3 bands. And to us, it's like, thank you for comparing us to like 3 of the most successful like metal bands in our genre. Thank you. So yeah, that's really it.
Yeah, I can see that. That's dope.
Even when they say it in like a almost hurtful, backhanded way, it's still like, that's a big compliment. So thank you.
Do you want to shout out any bands to like check out?
Dropout Kings, they're the boys. They just put out a new record, so go spin that. Our boys in the Greater just put out a new song. It's sick. That's about it off the top of my head, man.
All right, cool deal, man. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to leave behind the viewers about your band? Anything you want to say before we head out?
Go listen to our new record, Crucify Me. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, all that good fucking shit, wherever you listen to music. Follow us on social medias. It's like everything @/Dead Crown Band. We're also on TikTok, so come get talked with us. Yeah, if you got a problem with that, you can suck me from the back. That's what's up.
What are we drinking today? White Claws? The Claws of the Law today?
Yeah, they only had mango, so I had to go with mango. But yeah, I got White Claws and some meatless wieners that I'm probably gonna grill up today. So
well, I'll leave you to your claws and your wieners. Go check out Crucify Me, their new album. It absolutely slaps. It's on all streaming platforms. If you haven't heard it, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Thanks again for being on the show, man. I really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, man. I've had a blast.
Well, that pretty much does it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please like the video and subscribe. That way you don't miss a new episode of Native Diamond Podcast. And until I see you guys on a future video, shine on.
Hell yeah.